Hey there, it's Brian Kane from Leatherneck Creek. I've decided recently in my life that it is time to slow down. I'm older than I've ever been, and I I just have to or have already come to the realization that I'm no young man anymore. I'm firmly planted in middle age, and I am just ready to say to hell with the hustle. I spent most of my 20s and 30s hustling and chasing and striving and always reaching for the next thing. And those moments paid off for me. I certainly wouldn't be sitting where I'm sitting on 10 beautiful acres where I homestead and create things and building new buildings on the property. I wouldn't be sitting here being able to say this had it not been for the hustle in the 20s and 30s of my life. So I'm not saying don't hustle. What I'm saying is you need to define what is enough. And you also need to realize that your definition of enough is probably going to change the older you get. I know there will always be people that idolize people like Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk and all those people. I realize that there will always be people who look at them and say, I want that life. But let me hit you with some reality. There's a reason why there are so few people like that in this world. And I think the reason is because people, once they start to understand exactly every area of life that those people have sacrificed, they start to realize, oh, this isn't worth it. I was an avid follower of Gary Vaynerchuk. I never particularly cared for Grant Cardone. But when I heard the way that Gary Vaynerchuk talked about his marriage and his family and his kids, I did not see his actions lining up with the words that he used. He said that family was paramount, and he said that he wanted nothing more than to be there for those people in his life. But his actions did not say that. He was out of integrity. He was not living the life that he said that he valued. And he made it sound just so appealing and so just, man, like I want that life right there. And now he's divorced. He lost that family. There's no telling what his relationship is like with his kids because he doesn't really talk much about them. And that's really sad to me. I decided that the hustle wasn't for me once I realized that it was taking me away from my family that it was interfering with my relationship with my kids and my wife. The carnal part of me, the flesh part of me, definitely wants to live that extravagant lifestyle of being in the city and being in front of crowds of people and being, the big name on the stage. I still struggle with that right up until I realize that I have the family that I have, and I have the community where I live, and I have the people in my life that are truly cheering for me to win, not because I am an example of who they want to be, but because they are genuinely happy for me. And I didn't always have that, but I have it now. So I say, for me, in this moment, to hell with the hustle. I am still going to show up every single day and do my best and work and give every effort that I can give to furthering my success in this life. But it doesn't look like what it looked like in my 20s and 30s. It looks different now. And I think a lot of people really get in trouble when they don't realize that priorities have to change, and you're in when you're in different seasons of life, that what you value has to change. Otherwise, it's always going to feel like something is missing. And that's exactly the way that I felt. Was that something was missing. I felt like I was living in the past, and it wasn't who I was anymore. So in this time of my life, I'm choosing to be deliberate, choosing to slow down, choosing to take my time, because when you're staring at the far end of the clock and you realize just how little time you have left, you start to cherish it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could not wake up in the morning. I could not even make it to bed tonight. No one really knows how much time they have left. But I'm playing the long game here. I will make the assumption that I have, you know, I don't know, I'm 45, another 40 years left, 45 years left, maybe tops. I lived a hard life when I was young. So I would I would love to think that I could continue to maintain the pacing of life that I lived in my 20s and 30s when I'm in my 50s and 60s. But man, I really want to be a good grandfather, and I want to be a good parent of adult children, and I want to be a good husband who supports his wife, who has devoted her entire life to staying at home and raising the children. And now, in her new season of life, deliberately choosing to figure out what she wants to do with her life. Because what's she going to do? Stay at home in an empty house? There's only a couple more years and we are empty nesters. So she needs to figure out what she wants to do with her life. I hope that as you navigate through the seasons of life, you take the time to readjust your priorities and to take inventory of what it is that you actually want in life. Maybe you at some point decide, man, to hell with the hustle. And if you do, that's fantastic. And if you don't, that's fantastic too. You need to choose your own journey. Don't get caught up like I did in chasing other people's dreams. You chase your dream, whatever it looks like. I will be here rooting for you.